Subhash. All right, who wants to start?
Well, I will if no one else will. I'm sure you're going to get a grilling over what happened in this game. So, just looking forward, actually, it's a long layoff until the next League Two series. Is it just a question from here of refocusing on the short format and preparations for the World Cup? And if you could give us some insight into what Nepal has planned ahead of the World Cup.
Yeah, so first of all, obviously, we have identified a group of people who we feel will make a difference in the shorter format. And they will join us now. And you rightly said, so bit of gap for the League Two cycle, but I think one of the very important reflection is that this League Two cycle is going to be very challenging. All the teams are good sides, so we will have to put our plans in place for that too. Uh, Coming back to the World Cup thing, I think now what we will have to proactively look forward to is within a day against these two quality sides on the same surface. We'll have to put plans in place and we'll have to make sure that our players who are knowing their roles, we'll have to step up and courageously execute those roles under pressure.
And just, I guess, more specifically, Leonard, I understand you guys have a warm-up tour in India planned and maybe some more bilateral games planned as well.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that at all, or is that not still a bit up in the air?
No, I mean, one of the bilaterals is confirmed. Put a lot of effort, a lot of communication was from the CAN management, some of my personal connects as well. We all made an effort. So finally, because the Ranji Trophy finishes off 15th of March, Baroda state team and the Gujarat state team had agreed. It's the fixtures are fixed. We play against these two sides at the end of March till first week of April. So that's something which we look forward to. As we speak, also we are heading to Hong Kong for a T20 series against PNG and Hong Kong. So these are all part of the preparation. We are hoping for one or two more good news if it happens. If not, then obviously it's an opportunity for us to run a camp over here before we go to India to play against Gujarat and Baroda.
And then just finally, how different do you think that the T20 side will look to what has contested the series? And for the players that won't be involved, are there plans for them to focus then on the ODI format? Are you looking towards building to an extent, say, two separate sides for the two different formats?
Not totally a separate set, but it's a good question. We do have certain plans in place for some of the players who features in our ODI. And at the moment, the way the surface is the kind of surface that we are playing right now over here, we feel that some of them might feature in a T20 squad as well for timing, and we'll see how they are able to execute their roles. It will be new for them, but one or two players might feature from ODI into our T20 as well for this series especially. But when it comes to plans for the ODI players, again, we are reaching out to some setups that we know, and when we are busy with the T20 World Cup, we want them to be actively involved in certain programs so that when again the ODI cycle starts, they are not rusty but they are ready.
Coach, it's the same story once again today. We had a good start. It's a bit different from previous game, but the middle order is once again struggling. Do you think it's lack of responsibility from some of the senior players?
I think I would not like to give a statement like that. I think one thing you are right about, that it seems like we are playing the same game again. And I heard captain also saying the same thing over that we need to learn, cannot repeat the same mistakes. It is very important that when you're playing against quality sides on a challenging surface, which is the fact, you have to stay in the battle. You have to keep the fight up out there. And the skills that you're presenting over there matters a lot. At the same time, it is very evident that when you have to stay in the battle, you have to show some courage as well. You have to remain brave as well. Batsmanship is an art, and I think our players are experiencing a lot of games, and they will have to learn from these games to learn art of batsmanship as well. And that is where they will have to grow.
If we see in a broader perspective, we lost only 2 matches at home in last cycle. This time we've already lost 3 out of 4. So how do you see our home advantage? Is it a bit because of the only batting performance, or do you think we're getting predictable at home turf as well?
No, a lot of learnings, to be honest. I would not like to go into detailing of everything. I would like to still say proudly that the way we conducted PM Cup mattered a lot. But we know that within whatever we have over here, we have to use a TU ground to ensure that we see a lot more talent who's growing over here, training over here in domestic cricket. And that was their opportunity. I felt our groundsmen made a lot of effort to keep working on the pitches, but this time the pitches were not batting friendly. And last year our strategy was to create a very even pitch, let the skills win. But this time around, there was a bit of advantage when put it in the right place. And again, it's not an excuse, but we still had to make an effort. Losing out in home games obviously hurts, but at the same time, if you want to connect to your deepest identity, which is we have promised ourselves we want to be known as associate number one team, then even away games are going to be equally important. So we'll have to train and upskill ourselves. We have been working very hard. I mean, I can say that. Pushing our players to come in the morning, start at 9 o'clock, 9:15, try to face the same conditions and upskill themselves against the challenges which our bowlers are trying to put them in whatever possible things which we can do over here. And it's what they need to keep reflecting is they have to bring in maturity around it. And I think nothing is luck. It comes down to hard work, efforts, and deep diving into your roles.
See the team, I think our ODI batters, especially who have not performed, are going to be on a big long list because we don't have League 2 series until September, October, and it's in away conditions. So how will we prepare them for in this period? How will you keep them ready?
One thing proactively which we have done is now that we have formed an A team. We are also creating a group of coaches who will communicate with each other. We want this responsibility to be shared between all the coaches. And if all these domestic coaches also step up, and we all unify together towards one single goal, at least it will be an effort towards grooming all these players. So we'll put programs in place and then we'll see what comes out of it.
Switching the mode to T20I, we expect some changes. We still don't know with the team. What can we expect? Will you have a new look team or will we have similar individuals?
All the players who featured in our T20 World Cup qualifiers will be here for sure. Along with that, we expect one or two of our players from this ODI to also stay around. So I'm sure the T20 squad will be announced today. It's already in place, so it should be announced today, or maybe tomorrow morning. But we have decided with our players who will come in. Once it's out, we'll come to know.
Thank you.
All good?
Yeah.
Dhere, dhere, dhanyavad.
Thank you, coach.